Ever wondered what happens when kids take borrowing the car a bit too far?
We have determined that the suspect driver was a 13-year-old.
You get some wild stories of kids who tried to play getaway driver and failed miserably. So, fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to reveal crazy moments of kids stealing their parents' cars and getting caught. Number 1. 5-year-olds can drive. This is a clip from a story that made headlines on all major news channels across the country. It's about a 5-year-old kid who pleaded and begged his parents for a Lamborghini. And while I'm sure all parents want the best for their kids, asking for a supercar when you can barely even read is a bit uncalled for. But this kid does not take no for an answer.
He was upset.
Believe it or not, he ends up stealing his mum's car and even manages to get on the freeway. I'm glad he got pulled over before anything serious happened. Number 2. Safety first. Meet Daniel. He's very serious about safety. Even though he's just 7 years old, he knows it's important to put on a seatbelt before you drive. This minion was not only driving the wrong way, but he almost hit several cars on the way as well. And that's when we see a heroic man wrap up his fist and try breaking in the window. The kid starts yelling how it's his mum's car before slamming into a Jeep. Things finally come under control as this kid is stopped from causing a major pileup. And what's crazy is, this kid was having the time of his life. Number 3. Too much GTA.
Pushing for parking.
I really don't want to say this, but boy, does this kid know how to drive. He's just 11 years old and has insane control over his mom's SUV. But what was all this about? Why did this kid take off with mommy's vehicle? Well, all this happened because of a PlayStation. Mom took it away after this kid wouldn't stop playing, and in retaliation, he took off with their car. Watch this crazy footage as he zooms through traffic and red lights at crazy speeds. The police are finally able to catch the Dodge Durango, but this kid sure tore up the streets of Brooklyn. Number 4. Brand new BMW. Witness this. Mom lose it as her 14-year-old son takes her brand new BMW on a joyride. This kid actually switched off the home Wi-Fi so the mom wouldn't notice him on the CCTV cameras. And what's even more insane is how it ended up turning into a chase as the mom followed the kid around for nearly an hour, begging him to slow down. She even calls 911, who then tells her to stay close behind while they send some reinforcements.
Just found it.
But I'm guessing this kid had enough of the joyride when he finally pulled over, putting an end to the crazy chase. Number 5. Stolen Buick Encore. Imagine missing your mum so much that you literally end up stealing a car to go see her. That's what this 10-year-old kid did after getting behind the wheel of a Buick Encore to go see mommy. There's not a lot to go off of, but this car is actually stolen. And I don't mean stolen from mum, I mean actually stolen. And while we can't exactly call this kid a thief, he did kind of take a stranger's car and put hundreds of people on the highway in danger. But I'm guessing the pressure was too much for this little boy as he pulled over after being trailed by the cops. Number 6. Hollywood-worthy chase. This chase looks like a scene straight out of a Hollywood film. It's grandma's car as this 12-year-old, accompanied by her 7-year-old sister, leads the police on a dangerous pursuit lasting for more than 35 miles. But unlike all the other kids we've seen so far in this video, this little girl wasn't afraid to floor it. Believe it or not, there was a point in the pursuit when the girl pushed grandma's car to the absolute limit, reaching speeds of over 120 miles per hour. And when the police realized they wouldn't be able to slow her down, they ended up contacting the security company, who then started to slow the car down gradually and finally brought it to a halt in a less busy area. Thank God these kids were safe, but I'm sure Grandma isn't going to be serving cookies anytime soon. Number 7, I sure hope they have insurance. This is perhaps the wildest chase you'll see in this video. For this young driver, life is just a game, and you can see that from the way he's driving. He's hitting the throttle hard as he pushes the car over 100 miles per hour. But wait, there's more. He then goes off-road, heading straight towards incoming traffic. And that's when the cops know they must intervene. They end up ramming the vehicle several times before finally bringing it to a stop. Number 8, lucky to be alive.
23.
These 16-year-olds are lucky to be alive. There's no footage of this chase, but we do get to see the aftermath. Just have a look at how bad that white Hyundai looks. And considering how these boys were going over 100 miles per hour, it looked like this car slammed hood first into some trees. But this is exactly what you get for putting everyone's life at risk just for your joyride. And when you think about it, these guys aren't exactly kids now. They're 16 years old, so I think the officers did the right thing here by arresting them. Number 9, straight through a crowded park. This is another clip from a news report that shows a reckless spin straight through a crowded park full of kids. I wonder what got into this teen. I mean, driving through a park full of kids, that's some risky business. The situation could have turned nasty in seconds, and while that pickup at the end didn't intend to stop this unauthorized drive, he was in the right place at the right time. Number 10, not even a car. Forget about it being a parent's car. This isn't even a car. It's an entire forklift, and I have zero clue how this kid even drove one. Plus, I'm sure you've seen all the memes. You know, the ones about how being a certified forklift driver gets you all the attention. But this kid got it for all the wrong reasons, as he led the police on a 30-minute chase through the city on a forklift. How did it happen, though? Well, someone left it parked with the key inside at the middle school when this sneaky kid decided to take it for a crazy ride. Number 12. The wheels on the bus go round and round. No more Mario Kart for this kid over here. Watch how he dangerously swerves this school bus on the freeway with a whole squad of cops chasing him. He hits the grills several times, almost tipping over the bus. This kid is just 15 years old, and I'm honestly amazed how he's handling such a huge vehicle. As per official police reports, the kid wasn't even 5 feet tall, and how he was able to see what was ahead is out of my mind. And now for the wildest part. Not only did he run a red light through a busy intersection, but he also crashed right into another police cruiser. And while you may think officers used excessive force to apprehend this driver, I think it was well deserved. Number 14. Slow down, kid. Damn, son. Not only did this 14-year-old scrape an entire car, but he also ran over an elderly citizen. I'm guessing the kid panicked and lost control of the car, and while the person he ran over was safe, this kid got a good beating after getting caught. For the love of God, people, please keep your car keys away from kids. Number 15. Calm down, kid. This clip is hilarious, and this might come as a surprise to you, but in some countries, underage driving is pretty common. Plus, even though this kid is begging and pleading, chances are he'll do it again. But yeah, it's still funny watching him throw a tantrum like he's at home or something, asking for sweets. But this officer isn't having any of that. She scolds the kid, constantly scaring him with the idea of being thrown behind bars. Now, the right thing to do in this case would be to seize the bike and book the parents, but I'm pretty sure he was allowed to go free with just a warning. Number 17, special delivery. I'm here to pick up an order for an underage driver with irresponsible parents. Again, like this last clip, I'm surprised no one got hurt. This pizza shop had an unexpected visitor come in after a car crashed right into it, putting the lives of several customers at risk. And in case we have some young drivers killing time watching this video, this is what happens when you steal your parents' whip. So, do us all a favor and wait till you get your license. Number 18, the designated driver. Frankly speaking, I don't think this kid stole the vehicle. I actually think the parents gave it to him. I mean, it's like he's the designated driver for his siblings, as we can see multiple kids hopping out of the car. But could it be that these little kids were actually escaping from something? Because if you look closely, you can see how they have all their stuff packed up as well. I'm not really sure, but it does kind of seem like this kid ran away from home with his siblings. But yeah, for an 8-year-old to be driving around with kids younger than him, it's definitely not a good sight. Number 19, kids and guns. This clip is next level. You can actually see the moment some kids behind the wheel crash straight into this cop car. But just before the actual crash, they clip another vehicle, going several feet in the air, making it a crazy collision. Number 20, deadly head-on collision. What's this 12-year-old boy even running from? Does he not know the cops are trying to help him out here? You do understand they have to get him to stop before he hurts himself or someone else on the road, right? But I take it this kid thought the police were out to get him, and that's why he's hitting the throttle hard, reaching speeds of over 100 miles per hour. Now check this. He's in the opposite lane, and bam! He crashes his SUV right into an oncoming vehicle. Oh, and this kid wasn't even alone either. Before leading the cops on a crazy joyride, he actually picked up some friends of his who were also the same age. But what actually led to this boy driving so rashly? Well, it turns out peer pressure is real. The 12-year-old claimed his friends forced him to drive. The word is that this kid already has an outstanding warrant at a detention center. Yes, he's only 12. Number 21, the Kia boy. This kid clearly didn't get the memo. 8th graders aren't supposed to be driving on the roads. And stealing your parents' car is one thing, but speeding off with someone else's, now that's entirely something different. Number 22, another KIA. I'm guessing KIAs are super popular these days among youngsters. Either it's easier to steal than other vehicles, or it just runs better. I'm not sure, but this clip here is the literal definition of pushing a car to the limit. This KIA is full of underage drivers as they lead the cops on an intense chase through a busy neighborhood. This clip is cut short, but believe it or not, this chase actually lasted for more than half an hour. And while the cops did manage to catch these delinquents, you can actually see the moment their ride catches on fire. KIAs definitely aren't built to be driven like that, folks. Number 25, 4 attempts. This isn't a clip of the actual attack, but just look at how badly a 7-year-old totaled this car. And that isn't even the surprising bit. The main thing here is the kid tried to steal the car 4 times before this failed attempt. Now, thankfully, the kid is okay, but the mum is being held accountable for not being able to contain her kid. Number 28, still a kid. Even though the daring driver behind the wheel of this white car is 19 years old, let's face it, he's still not exactly an adult. I mean, he might think he's old enough to steal a car and drive it, but he's clearly not skilled enough to handle it. But, yeah, That's all I'm going to say, because, considering how badly he crashes, I just hope everyone involved is okay. And this wasn't just any normal truck he crashed into either. It was literally a 29-ton truck that almost took this teenager's life. Number 30. Wipe those smiles off your face. This crash looks rather cartoonish, to be honest. So, here's how the story goes. Some teens decided to steal a ride and take it for a joyride, only to have it cut short after crashing right into a flower shop. And while no one was hurt, just watch how many teens pour out of the shop. One by one, we see the police apprehending them, and I find it super offensive how some of these kids have smiles on their faces. Wipe it off, kids. It's not going to last long when you're in detention. I hope they make mom and dad pay for the damages. Number 32. Record for the biggest pursuit. This 11-year-old boy will one day grow up to tell a really interesting story. That is, if he doesn't commit any other crimes. This school bus you see in the clip is being driven by the 11-year-old after the real driver left it unattended at the school. And even if I tried counting, I'd say there are at least 30 cops behind this stolen school bus. That's a world record right there. Number 33. What a vibe! These young kids didn't just steal a car, they actually partied inside it. I mean, it must have been a serious vibe for them while it lasted, but you can see them bouncing to songs, sipping on sodas, and cracking jokes. It's all smiles until the car owner shares the dashcam footage with the local authorities. These kids were eventually identified, and when the police showed up later that week to their school, the look on their faces must have been priceless. Number 34. This is not a video game. The last time I saw something this crazy was while playing GTA 5. With so many cops in pursuit, you'd imagine this guy kidnapped the president or something. But nope. It's just a reckless teen with nothing better to do, leading the police on a deadly pursuit through the busy streets. If you think about it, this joyride could have resulted in a really deadly pileup, as you can see several close calls in the clip. And even after crashing the car, this kid showed no remorse and tried to make a dash for it on foot. Well, unfortunately for him, the police do not mess around, especially when you're putting everyone else around you at risk. A total of 5 cars. Bear with me, folks. The footage is a bit blurry, but behind the wheel of this white van is a 10-year-old boy. How did he get behind it? I have no clue. Why did he do it? No idea. But this kid did end up slamming into 5 cars and damaging all of them. And he's also lucky they were all parked since no one got hurt. But yeah, I sure hope this is the worst crime he'll ever commit in his life. Out of all the clips we've seen so far, this is perhaps the only underage driver who was taken into custody by force. Anyway, that's it from our side, folks. So, what do you think? What incident did you find most shocking? And do you have any stories about underage kids speeding off with stolen cars? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more interesting content in the future. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.